Hello class, in this video I'll be providing definitions for some of the terminology we will be using throughout this chapter. Let's begin. So a linear inequality can take on a few forms, and the first form is less than or equal to, followed by strictly less than. Next, we have greater than or equal to. And finally, there is strictly greater than. And notice that in each case, y is on the left side of the inequality. And when I graph linear inequalities, I like to keep y on the left-hand side because it's easier to identify where to shade the solution region. If we start moving y to the right-hand side, it might make things a little bit difficult when it comes to identifying the solution region. So I always keep y on the left-hand side. And now for the terminology. The first being the border or the boundary line. And what that does is that it will separate ordered pairs that are solutions from those that are not. So if you have y is less than or y is greater than some expression, then the boundary line is not part of the solution. Therefore, it is a dashed line. So if we have y is greater than or equal to, or y is less than or equal to, then the boundary line is part of the solution, therefore it is a solid line. Okay, next is the feasible region. And the feasible region is the area of the Cartesian plane which is just the xy grid where the solutions exist. So the feasible region is the solution region. All right, so if y is less than or y is less than or equal to an expression, then the feasible region is below the boundary line. If y is greater than or y is greater than or equal to an expression, then the feasible region is above the boundary line. And finally, we have corners. So a corner is a point in the feasible region where two or more boundary lines cross. Okay, so the important part here is a point in the feasible region. So what that means is if I have, we'll say this is a boundary line, and then this is a boundary line, and they're both solid lines, and if the feasible region is right here, where they intersect is a corner. If I have a boundary line like such, and then a dashed line, and we say, I don't know, let's just say this is the feasible region right here below the two lines. That is not a corner because the corner is not part of the feasible region.